Hello YouTube, it is I, the second antagonizer, because that's how I start my videos. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you guys about NoFap and the relapse that I've just gone through. And I lasted about 4 months through NoFap, um, and so I just relapsed, of course, today. I just thought I might make this video because I'm feeling quite optimistic after this relapse. For some odd reason, some people might think that's strange, but I just looked at the positive aspects of what I can learn from this relapse, and not only what I can learn from the relapse, but looking back at this journey that I've gone through, of not PMOing for the past 4 months. My goal was to last for a year, um, and I've been after I relapsed. I thought to myself, because for these 4 months, I've been in my head a lot. I haven't been watching porn, but I've been fantasizing about it, just playing it in my head, and I've always been thinking about at the end of this year, I'm just gonna go nuts, right? I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna just, well, you know the gig, relapse like crazy, and I kept having that thought in my head, and then of course when that thought pops up in my head, what am I thinking about? Obviously, I'm thinking about relapsing, and so it's just gonna happen. So rather than set a goal for this certain time or that certain time, I think it would be best just to incorporate this into just a lifestyle. If I trip over, I just get myself up and I just go again, and I don't even bother counting the days. I just treat it as a lifestyle because focusing on, I focus too much on the destination and not on the journey. So I was always thinking of that end point, and in the meantime, not enjoying the journey at all. And that was the problem. That was the biggest problem. In a way, it hugely hindered the positive effects that I'd get from challenging myself in this phase of my life. Because I was just thinking about that end result and I wasn't enjoying the process of it. And I think this is a good lesson to tell me to, hey, enjoy the process. Stop setting this quantity of time in these goals. Just make it a lifestyle. And pick yourself up when you fall down, and just go as long as you can, but just make it a lifestyle as long as you can, and that's it. That's what I'm gonna go for, rather than setting it for this year or 2 years or whatever. There's these videos where people, they go for a year when they're like, oh, is this real? And it's just like, the longest I've gone for is 6 months, so I don't know what that's like, but it makes us think about, oh wow, what's it going to be like when I get to that end of the year? It might not even be like that, because everybody's different. I know through these 4 months that I've gone through, the first 3 months I was hugely depressed, and I was thinking to myself, in fact I was more depressed for the first 3 months, and I was thinking to myself, this isn't working. It's just, I wasn't getting any urges or anything. It just felt like it wasn't working. Some people, they go a week and they're like, oh, I feel great. But it wasn't like that for me. Maybe it was because I had fantasies running through my head, and I was playing this, playing those fantasies I'm talking about. Those fantasies you play in your head. I think that was the issue. It could have been, I don't know exactly, but it was only after those first 3 months that I started to get a lot more energetic. I got very aggressive. Very, very aggressive in this 4 months. After those 3 months, that's when I was less depressed. But also after those 3 months, I started to meditate as well. That's when I started to meditate a lot more. And that's when I started noticing positive effects. So I think my positive effects have been more based on my meditation rather than this journey of NoFap. And in a way, I think, well, the peace that I've got through meditation, in a way, it's a lot more beneficial than NoFap itself. I mean, you could just meditate, 5 minutes a day, every day. That's it. Just meditate, and it would have tremendous benefits. I need to look into the camera more. I'm You know, it's weird looking into the camera, but yeah. So yeah, did I get more benefits from meditating than NoFap? I think probably I did, because that's when I noticed a lot of the positive benefits. But I think that aggressiveness came from not came from the NoFap. It was kind of I don't know, it's kind of a motivated aggressiveness, like my testosterone levels just peaked or something. It was like that. But there was also negative sides to where I was angry a lot as well. I was very angry. Instead of me being depressed, I was just really angry. And I remember this was a time. This wasn't a time when I was angry, but I was on the bus, and there was this really hot chick on the bus, and because I was more aggressive, I was just kind of looking at her like, just. I kept eye contact with her for probably like 30 seconds or so. She was biting her lip and playing with her hair, but I didn't approach her, you know. So I'm still not good with that. Some people can approach enough, but I'm still. Oh, sorry, I touched the mic. You probably would have heard an awkward sound, but yeah, I still haven't really noticed too many approaching benefits from that. I've got actually I have been noticing some approaching. I've been able to approach people more often. I think that's more due to meditation, because I've been meditating a lot. But hey, you know what? We'll see. I'll keep meditating. I'll meditate tonight. I'll meditate tomorrow morning, and I'll see how I go tomorrow. Huh? Will I still be able to socialize with people? Because I've noticed that my social skills have increased through NoFap a lot, tremendously. There's people that I start talking, I strike up conversations with them. I don't even. It's just effortless. It just happens. You know, I don't even realize it. Even with women, like I would just sit next to them and I would just talk to them, and I wouldn't even notice. In a way, I am actually approaching, you know, pretty well, I guess. But don't know if that'll still stick around and I've relapsed. Hopefully, it will still, you know, I'll still be able to approach people fine. But you know, we'll see. I'll get up, and I'll start running the marathon again, and I'll just go for as long as I can. That's it. Just run for as long as I can. I trip over. That's fine. Pick myself up. Keep running. It's fine. And yeah. So basically, this video, folks. This video is, you know, the main message I'm sending across is you can be optimistic about your failures and learn to move on from that. Because through NoFap, I've spent too much time in my head fantasizing, and I need to stop that. I need to silence that part of my mind more. Learn to silence that part of my mind and focus my efforts more on my work. Because I was actually distracted a lot through NoFap. So much. I had so many strong urges that I just couldn't concentrate on my work properly. And I noticed that I could concentrate better with my assignments and stuff at university, when I wasn't in NoFap, as opposed to when I was in NoFap. Even after 4 months, I was still like, it's like, you know, they say after about 6 months it starts to wear off. After about 6 months, but yeah, you know, the first 6 months I did it wore off after about 3 months. That the first time I did it. It was funny. The first time I did NoFap, after the first 3 months, that's when pretty much the urges went away, and I was just bliss for like 3 months. It was great. It was a beautiful feeling. But this NoFap experience, this one that I had, that I just relapsed from, 3 months of depression, and then after 3 months, that's when I started to get the urges. It's strange. Psychology is strange, was it? It's very odd. It really is. But I'm happy to say that I'm completely, you know, past pornography. Now it's just a fapping that I relapsed on. It wasn't the pornography part. I don't even watch that anymore. Like I tried to, I chose to. Months ago, at the beginning of the year, I put it on, and I just, you know, we all do it, you know. And I watched some of it, and it was just a normal porn video that you would find on like the front page of Pornhub. She was apparently squirting, but she wasn't squirting. Just like, is this the vanilla shit now? Like, it just wasn't even arousing. It was like, this shit is just gross. Anyway, that's what I think about that right now. Anyway, like the good thing about NoFap is it like switches you to vanilla, and you kind of get past the fetishes, which is good, because fetishes for the most part, a lot of them are pretty unnatural, and I think they are manifest from addictions. One other thing that I've noticed through this small little journey of 4 months is that I've been substituting this NoFap addiction with food and sugar, I think. I've been eating a lot of food and sugar. Quite a bit on NoFap, more so than I did when I wasn't masturbating. So I kind of just replaced it with another addiction. We got to be very careful about that. And ask yourself, am I replacing this with another addiction? Because that's what I could have been doing for the first 3 months. Is just replace one addiction for the other, and that's it. Which isn't really, I mean, it could be progress. For example, if, you go from like a drug addict to like a sex addict, I mean, at least you'll have your mind, right? When you're addicted to sex, as opposed to drugs where you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, man, it depends on the drugs that you're taking. But anyway, yeah, probably, I don't know, the food addiction probably was a little bit more unhealthy than the fapping addiction. Anyway, cool. That's pretty much all I have to say. And after I relapsed, I still have more to say. Apparently, after I relapsed, I just I looked at him and I said, it's okay. It's fine. I'm only human. I fell over. It's alright. It's no big deal. You got to learn to love yourself. That's it. And look up to yourself. And I mean, 4 months. I mean, that's fantastic. 4 months. I haven't gone that long in so long. I've been tripping around and goofing off so long, and I finally managed to actually stretch out a long streak, and I haven't done that in a long time, and I should be proud of that. Even if I didn't make it to a year, I should be proud of the 4 months. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. To all you guys out there struggling with this as well, good luck to you all. I hope you do well, and I hope you learn from your mistakes if you happen to stumble upon them. Anyway, goodbye. Signing off. Second antagonizer. Not antagonizing anymore, or maybe not antagonizing in the first place. Whatever.